de sueños e ilusiones, perdonen a este viejo,
Hello! It is night 4 in Havana, Cuba. Now we're at this groovy restaurant in Vedado called Dolce Havana. We just had a delicious meal, very filling. We went to the Fresa y Chocolate Cinema Cafe, the headquarters of the ICAIC, and we were there just in time for this directorial cinema talk about the current state of cinema in Cuba. It was amazing. And now we're about to go out and meet the younger generation of Cuban filmmakers here. So it's perfecto.
Esas grandes cámaras, grandes luces, ya se podía hacer películas con cámaras mucho más modestas, cámaras de video, etcétera. Entra el video a la isla, ¿no?
We should do 10 places in the world that you can find Charlie Chaplin. We've got Cuba. We've got Switzerland. I even think we saw one in Iceland. We just gotta find the other 7. I don't know why Charlie Chaplin is a big deal in Cuba. What I do know is that Charlie Chaplin liked Cuba. He visited a bunch, and there is one of the most famous still operational cinemas in Cuba is the Charlie Chaplin Cinema, and that's part of the ICAIC, and they're the ones that are controlling the filmmaking in Cuba since the revolution. Cuba used to have 600 movie theaters in the entire country, and there are only 19 of them are still operational today. During the post-revolutionary era, they used cinema to communicate with the masses, and they were everywhere. It was a huge cinema culture, but over the years, after the special period and all that, which was the 1990s when the Soviet Union got out of Cuba, and so it became a very kind of low economic time for Cubans. A lot of these old historic cinemas shut down. And there's this photographer, an Italian photographer, who went to Cuba and documented as many of these cinemas that she could still find. She found about 300 that were still standing buildings, and some of them have been taken over now by dance troupes and other organizations, but only 19 of them in the entire country are still operational, and this Charlie Chaplin cinema we went to is one of them. And then what else is weird is there's a John Lennon park. When I heard there was a Lenin park, I thought it was like Lenin, the Russian politician. But actually it's John Lennon. And we went to the park and he had these groovy sunglasses on a park bench. Seriously, a statue of John Lennon. And I sat next to him and took selfies with him. And I was just admiring these like super groovy, you know, 1970s sunglasses on him. And it turns out some Cuban lady had put the sunglasses on him. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. I think it was some sort of scam or scheme. But right down the street was a yellow submarine bar. It was crazy. We did not go there. We probably won't go there, but it's just trippy. So anyway, welcome to Havana. That's where we're at. Oh my goodness, we are in Fusterlandia. This place is insane. Wait till you see it. We just got dropped off from a convertible that we hired. We hired a convertible car so that we could get movement shots out the window. So we asked him to drive us around Havana, and we put the camera on the gimbal so we could get some nice smooth movement shots outside the open air car. Plus, it's super cool driving around Cuba in a convertible. I thought it would be like silly, touristy, but it's so much fun. And he took us to Miramar and La Playa, and we saw this crazy Russian embassy. And now he suddenly pulled up to this amazing village that has murals and art all over. It's beautiful, it's colorful. Everybody should come here. Oh my gosh. It's Jazz Fest here in Havana. Do you know how much I love jazz? I used to believe that I was a jazz musician in a former life. Being in Havana during the Havana Jazz Festival is like a dream come true, an unexpected surprise. And we heard so many amazing live concerts by some of the best Cuban jazz musicians in the world. They were all here at once, playing these live rocking concerts in parks and restaurants and theaters. We went to a big one where it was mostly Cubans there, dancing, rumba, salsa, cha-cha-cha.
¡Viva Cuba! ¡Viva Cuba! Yo, cubana.